Prophecy Club. Sometimes because we don't understand Bible prophecy deep enough, we make mistakes. We misunderstand, and that is part of what I'm going to be talking about today. First of all, the topic is going to be the mark of the beast. Is the mark of the beast about to arrive? I'm going to say no. I think a better question is the tribulation, is the last 7 years about to arrive? And I'm going to say no, not immediately. I still think that the next thing we're going to see is a great revival. I think the revival, I know that the revival arrives before the tribulation. However, an article I just got sent to me is kind of piggybacking on a point that I made in the broadcast 2 broadcasts ago. The headline reads, Whole Foods to roll out Mark of the Beast biometric palm scanning payment technology across its stores. Let me read that again. Whole Foods to roll out Mark of the Beast biometric palm scanning payment technology across its U.S. stores. June 30th by Ethan Huff, carried by Natural News. And I'm going to say right up front, it's not the mark of the beast. I don't think it's going to be the mark of the beast this year. I do think that it is showing that we're coming close to a world government, close to the tribulation. If world government is synonymous with the tribulation, and there's nothing to absolutely positively say that it is. It could be that we have the world government for a while before we have the tribulation. But when the tribulation comes along, by that time, I'm convinced that we will be in the world government. In other words, world government is when all of the nations of the world give their power and strength to the beast. They form one government that is over all. And you would think that that would come at the end of a great war, but not necessarily. In other words, let's keep our options open, or keep our eyes open, so that we don't make a mistake, as they have made in this article. Okay, so the article. The first Amazon Fresh, unquote, grocery store equipped with, quote, just walk out technology has opened, allowing customers to purchase groceries without having to wait in a long checkout line. Oh, now that sounds wonderful, doesn't it? But of course, there's something bad about it. The catch is that all customers will be surveilled and tracked using an advanced system of cameras and artificial intelligence, and the eventual goal is to also get them microchipped so they can pay using their wrist rather than having to carry around a chip-equipped credit card or debit card. Now, I would like to say to Ethan Huff, Ethan, did they tell you specifically that eventually they want to get everybody microchipped? Because I believe they would say, well, no, I was kind of assuming that. I did not actually hear them say that they're actually going to be microchipping. No, because I don't think they're going to be microchipped. And I'm not saying anything bad about Whole Foods or Amazon. Even Ken Peters, that said he saw in his dream when they got the mark of the beast, he said, I saw no microchip, no chip of any kind associated with it. Why? Because, and I'm going to pause, we're going to go back to the article here in just a second. Because we're already carrying the microchip. We already have it. See, back in the 80s, there was a guy that came out and said, there's going to be a time that we get a microchip inserted under the skin of the back of the right hand. It's going to be tracked by satellite. It's going to track us every place, and we'll pay for everything with that microchip. That's not actually what has happened. Instead, they put the microchip not in the back of your hand, but they put it into a cell phone, and you're carrying it in your purse or your pocket. That's right, your cell phone is going to connect to satellite. Cell phone can't reach to satellite. No, it can't reach to the real far satellites, the old type satellites. However, it is going to be linking to the new Starlink low Earth orbiting satellites put up by Elon Musk. In other words, all of the cell phones will all be able to link the internet any place on the globe outside of the North and South Pole, perhaps even there too, using these low Earth orbiting satellites. Now, we've talked about the satellites, so let's move on. It's just for right now, accept that the microchip is already in your phone. Oh, I understand. It's not this phone. It's going to be an upgraded phone. And Now, if you were to say, now, Stan, has Apple told you what you're about to say? I'm going to say no. No, they have not. So you're surmising this a little bit. Yeah, yes, I am, but I believe I'm correct. A future version of a cell phone will always have the front and the back, the little clear glass type screen. It's always going to be on. And so as you touch it, it is always taking your fingerprints. The camera is always on so that it is always reading your face. And this is not like 17-point technology. This is like millions of dots per inch. There is absolutely no error in it. So it's taking your palm print, your fingerprints, your face print, and your voice print always. It's always on. It's always listening to you. And as a result, in that phone is a microchip that links up into the Starlink satellite system. Your phone is always connected to the internet. Oh, well, what about when we go inside of a building? Well, we believe that what they're going to do with the 5G is that 5G is going to be every place. In other words, you don't have to have a passcode to get into someone's internet access. It automatically accesses. So as your phone moves through a building, it moves around the city, it automatically links and links and links and relinks and unlinks to all of the different Wi-Fis. In other words, the new advanced cell phone, I'm not even saying the very, very next one, it might be even 2 or 3 generations, but I'm telling you this is where it's going. And I'll tell you why I know that here in just a second. So it's always connected to the internet, and the only way you can get it to stop, and by the way, you can even turn it off, but you can't turn off the technology. In other words, it can still track you. It can still hear your voice and your prints and your voice and all that, okay? Even if you turn it off. So the only way you can stop it would be to put it in some kind of a bag or a metal, like a wrap it in aluminum foil or something like that, so that the signals can't be reached to it or the signals it sends out. Why would there be such a push for electric cars? So much so as the government actually giving Elon Musk and some of these other electric car companies millions of dollars to develop electric cars. Well, see, electricity is actually a more efficient way to move around, be it a car or a helicopter or a plane. It's actually more efficient because you're getting closer to 100% efficiency using electricity. But here's the problem. At this point, we do not have the technology to carry enough energy in a battery long enough to make it efficient. In other words, the batteries are too heavy. They don't carry the charge long enough. They don't recharge enough times. Well, okay, so why are you saying that the real technology is going to be electricity? In other words, eventually we are going to be going away from cars that are gas propulsion powered. How do you know that? When they come out with 0-point energy or with some kind of an energy device like your anti-gravity flying saucers run off of that have almost endless electricity to them, that's what's going to go to the cars. In other words, it'll be a simple matter of just taking out the battery and switching over to this little gizmo that I hope is going to be about the size of a basketball, at the largest about the size of a beach ball that fits in your car, and you never have to buy electricity. Yeah, those kind of anti-gravity, free energy devices are out there and have been out there. Some people say as long as even 80 years. Of course, if you want to count how long have we been seeing flying saucers, well, that dates back 2,000 or 3,000 years. So in terms of the technology, it's possible. It's just whether we have the technology, as in humans, and it's coming. I think that's the reason they're pushing the electric cars so much, and that's the reason Amazon is pushing a time. In other words, it's not even about our palm as much as it is they want to be able to track us. Well, why do they want to track us? Because they want to be able to force every person on the earth to worship the beast and take his mark, proving that they worshiped him. That's the ultimate objective. That's where they're going. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand. And that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark of the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for as the number of a man is number 666. Now, if you jump to another place in Revelation, it says, "And it was given him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations." Here it is. "And that all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him." There it is. See, that's what the devil wants. He wants to get the worship that he saw freely given to God. He wants that, and he doesn't mind making people do it. "All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world." So that's his real objective. Now, let's go back to the Amazon Fresh article. It says, according to a company announcement, the Amazon Fresh store incorporates a combination, here it is, of computer vision sensor fusion and deep learning. What? Computer vision sensor fusion and deep learning. They're watching. They know whatever you do in their store. They know. But you see, they don't want it to just be in the store. They want it to be every place. Computer vision, sensor fusion, deep learning to extract cash from customers without them having to do anything other than just walk out of the store. Now, do you think that Amazon is spending millions of dollars just so you don't have to pull out your credit card? Just so you don't have to stand in line and wait? Do you really believe that? Or do you really think it's going to the place to where you'll simply walk in, throw whatever you want into your bags or into the cart, and you don't have to stop? Why? Because they've already connected up with your cell phone. When your cell phone got into the parking lot, when your cell phone walked in your purse or your pocket, it's already been tracking you. As you walked around, the cell phone has already been telling them to watch here, to watch there, and their cameras have already seen you're tossing it into the cart. And so when you get to the front, you don't have to stop. But they're not doing it for your convenience. They're doing it because one day no one will be able to buy or sell save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, the point is, we're really getting close to this time where we're having a world government. Let me jump back to what I read a couple of broadcasts ago. This comes to us from BenjaminFulford.net. Headline, "A Victory Nears. White Hats Plan Yalta Type Conference. Victory in the battle for planet Earth is now within the grasp of the White Hats. For that reason," now listen to this, "a Yalta Type Conference is being planned for this autumn." What is a Yalta Type Conference? The Yalta Type Conference is what they set up at the end of World War II to start a new way of running the planet. So when he says Yalta Type Conference, they're saying that they're about to set up a new way of running the planet. We call it a new world order or a world government. We say it's Bible prophecy. Revelation 13:1, Daniel 7:21. Yalta Type Conference is being planned for this autumn to determine exactly, listen to this, how to manage the transition to a new age. I didn't say that. A guy that lives in Japan that's not even a Christian said that. Transition to a new age, according to multiple sources involved. Participants in the conference will include, and he goes on to mention not Christian sources. During the summer, government agencies will be encouraged to run simulations of a Jubilee Type event that will be used to start the new age. Jubilee Type event? In other words, like, as I had said this a couple of days ago, as Daniel Davis said he saw in his dream, a man of authority stepped to the microphone and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. The United States, as you have known it, has ceased to exist. All property lines are dissolved, and the U.S. dollar is worthless." That could very well take place before the end of 2021, and in my opinion, high probability before the end of 2022. I'll read it again. During the summer, see, both these taking place. One is autumn, one is summer. During the summer, government agencies will be encouraged to run simulations of a Jubilee type event that would be used to start the new age. What did they just say? They just say we're starting a world government. We're starting a new world order this year. That's what they said. I didn't say it. They said it. The goal would be to make sure that as a result of the Jubilee, what's a Jubilee? That's all property lines are dissolved. The U.S. dollar is worthless, and the United States as you have known it has ceased to exist. As a result of the Jubilee, humans would have ownership rights to their current residence. Or is that the way it's going to work out? Or are they going to simply say they're going to reapportion all of the wealth? Now let's go back to the Amazon Fresh article. Anything customers take off the shelf is automatically added to their virtual cart, and anything they put back on the shelf comes out of their virtual cart, the company says. Once a customer walks inside the store, he or she can, quote, scan the QR code in their Amazon app, use Amazon One to scan their palm, or insert a credit card or debit card linked to their Amazon account. Yes, that's the way it would work today when it's being set up. But the final implementation would be it's in the computer chip you're already carrying in your phone. After leaving the store, funds are taken out of the card or hand and put into Amazon's account, eliminating the need for human checkers. Oh, yes, we've got to get rid of those human checkers. We've got to get rid of those long lines to pay for it. No, that's not it. They want to track us, my brothers and sisters. They want to make certain that we do take that mark of the beast. Back to the article. Jeff Bezos sounds like he really wants to be the best buds with the Antichrist. Now, I'm going to say I disagree with him. I don't think that is their objective at this point. I think most of them don't know enough about the Bible to even understand what they're doing. I think that they are simply being told what to do from the very highest echelons, and those echelons are not flesh and blood. In other words, they're Lucifer. Lucifer knows where he's going with this. But Jeff Bezos doesn't. He doesn't know Bible prophecy. He didn't know the Bible. He just thinks that he's doing what he's told to do. He's setting up a new system to make it easy. He's probably not even thinking it's bad. And if someone were to actually interview him, he would look dumbfounded if you were to say, probably if you were to say Antichrist or Mark of the Beast to him, he'd say, what? Nah. What? He doesn't even know. Amazon has been talking about this new system for quite some time now, indicating that Whole Foods Market stores, which it now owns, will also be getting into the coming weeks and months. Amazon wants to make it easy for customers to avoid having to carry around cash or cards. Oh, come on. Really? Is it so difficult to carry that paper and those little plastic cards? Oh, yes, it just weighs down my billfold. Oh, my goodness. No. It's heading to a world government, heading to the mark of the beast. But where it's really going is the devil wants you to bend your knee and worship him. Period. That's where it's going. Amazon One's customized hardware captures the minute characteristics of your palm, both surface area details like lines and ridges, as well as, listen, subcutaneous features such as vein patterns, to create your palm signature, the company further says. In other words, it's not just tracking the little lines on the outside of your skin called fingerprints. It's also tracking your vein signature, and they haven't said, but also your bone signature. But they don't really care about your hand. They don't care about your fingerprints, palm prints. They want to make certain that it's you. They want to make certain they found you, because the time is going to come so that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. As far as we can tell, Amazon is leading the charge. Yes, we got to get those heavy pieces of paper and those heavy credit cards so people don't have to carry them around. Oh, come on. It's something bigger. It might sound futuristic and maybe even fun to just walk up to the Whole Foods market, grab what you need, walk out without paying like Black Lives Matters protesters do. But Amazon has also announced the introduction of a new, listen to this, all-seeing eye technology in the form of a Ring car cam and an always home cam, which, like their name suggests, allow Amazon users to see inside their cars and homes at all times. These technologies will allow Amazon to see inside people's cars and homes at all times, just like how Alexa already listens to everything that people say inside their homes. As with every other technocrat offering it comes up with, Amazon claims it only collects the data it, quote, needs to make the customer experience more pleasant. Now, We all know, however, this is a pack of lies, he says, as Amazon loves to exploit user data for maximum profits while evading people's privacy and pretty much taking over the world. Now, where's it really going? Back up to the other article now. A Yalta type conference is to be planned for this autumn. Skip a paragraph down. During the summer, government agencies will be encouraged to run simulations of a Jubilee type event that would be used to start the new age. Let me paint a picture. So what happens if Mike Lindell of MyPillow is actually correct? What happens if DJT is back in charge by the end of August? Well, that would have to mean that there was tanks rolling down Pennsylvania Avenue sometime in July and August, assuming. And if that's true, that internal revolution might have already started, and then after the internal revolution, that might also mean that that's when the Yalta type conference, or the New World Order, or the world government, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. What if that covenant is the Yalta type conference? What if that covenant is setting up a world government, a new world order? They might not and probably won't call it that, but they'll just call it like a Yalta type new world conference, a new world. They're probably not going to use the word new world order because, we would recognize that. But he's not using it. He's saying a Jubilee type event. So all of a sudden, this summer, this autumn, something happens. We move into a new age. I don't know what they're going to call it. But as we look at this, there's a high probability that we could be moving into a world government. So what I'm saying is all of a sudden, that tribulation that we want to believe is 40 years off, maybe it's 4 months off. Which is why I'm calling everybody to come to the Solemn September Assembly, September 6 to 8. You get signed up by going to watchmanstrumpet.com. Here's what it's going to be like. We're asking you to bring your shofar trumpet, no brass instruments, nothing man-made, okay? A real shofar, and precisely at 7:42 p.m., I believe it is, at sundown, we're all going to blow our shofars in 7 long, loud blasts. And we're going to send out the ministering, protecting, guardian, and warrior angels to destroy principalities and powers and rulers of darkness and evil in high places, specifically the Moloch and the Baal worshipers. We're going to ask for God to give America more time and to help us to turn from our wicked ways so we will hear from heaven, forgive our sins, and heal our land. Yes, I know that's a tall request, but if we don't do it, our nation's lost. And yes, we're going to be live streaming it. But notice that back in the days when they were in the upper room and the mighty rushing wind came in, the tongues of fire set upon the heads of the people, they weren't live streaming it. They were in the room. In other words, you got to come. Well, I can't get off. I don't have the money. Well, wait a minute. I can do all things through Christ that strengtheneth me. So ask God to give you the money and the days off so you can come. Look it. Do you think God wants you to fast for 48 straight hours and help that microphone to keep going with prayers every 5 minutes for a total of 48 straight hours? I believe he does. Then, at sundown, on the conclusion, once again, we'll all blow our shofars in 7 long, loud blasts, and we're going to do our best to shake the devil's kingdom. Shake the devil's kingdom off of our nation. You get signed up by going to watchmanstrumpet.com. Now, here's a warning. Last time, Dana Coverstone only had 18 people there, but this time he's got a pretty large ministry. My guess is that we're probably going to fill up 2 or 3 weeks before September 6 to 8. So my suggestion is you don't wait till the last minute. You better get there and get signed up because it's going to be packed. It's going to be full, in my opinion. Watchmanstrumpet.com. Next thing, I think you should have already read The Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy by the time you get there. And also having my book, Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, already read by the time you get there will also be very helpful. Now, this is not going to be about a bunch of different speakers. We're going to limit the ministers talking to 15, 20 minutes because it's mostly 5-minute prayers to a limit of 5 minutes per prayer. Watchmanstrumpet.com. You have not been in a prayer meeting like this unless you were there last year. Watchmanstrumpet.com. Get signed up. In 2017, God helped me to memorize the book of Revelation and gave me 30 revelations, 2 visions, and an audible voice. God showed me the word first fruits is a secret door linking the feasts of Leviticus to the prophecies of Revelation. For the first time, the end-time prophecies of Revelation can be placed in correct chronological order. One prophetic word said, "There is a lock I put over a word in the book of Revelation I'm going to open unto you. It will turn many books written on the end-time message into obsolete books." That's this book. It's called The Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy. So what if you had to tell a person the most important thing in the world, but you knew they're probably not going to believe you? Well, if you're listening to this, I believe you'd probably still tell them. Well, the most important thing to do is to receive Jesus. But the most important information is to not take the mark of the beast, because those people taking the mark of the beast do not get soul death, but they're tossed into eternal torment in hell without any possibility of escape. We put it into a book, miss the mark, don't take the mark of the beast, a simple book to give to people. If they read, they will never take the mark of the beast. Countless people are believing that they're not going to see any trouble of the tribulation. They're going to go in a rapture, which is a misunderstanding. So God had me write a book called How Pre-Trib Won. It explains how the Christian church was so snookered into believing a misunderstanding like this, and it helps them through scriptures to see the truth that there is not going to be a pre-trib, mid-trib, or pre-wrath rapture. No one is going any place to escape any testing. It's called How Pre-Trib Won. Then, the book of Daniel, most people agree, is probably the most difficult book in the Bible to understand. So I wrote a book called Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, which gives this last generation the explanation and the parts of Daniel that they need to endure the tribulation. Pure and simple, it takes Daniel and makes it easy to understand. It's called Tribulation Secrets in Daniel. As you know, many of the broadcasts have referred to a list of dreams, visions, and audible voices from people like Dimitri Duduman, Michael Boldea, Leslie Johnson, Henry Gruver, and others. We put together a special radio offer. You can get 10 How Pre-Trib Won, 10 Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, 10 Miss the Mark, 5 Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, 5 God's Warnings to America, totaling 40 books valued at $800 for a gift of just $100 at prophecyclub.com. That's 40 books valued at $800 for a gift of just $100 at prophecyclub.com. prophecyclub.com. Due to many emergencies across the land, most people are out of Berkey water filters. We have them in stock at prophecyclub.com. When a nuclear device goes off, it produces an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse, and it fries every computer chip unless they're protected. The good news is EMPShield.com has devices a military testing facility says are 100% accurate to protect against EMP, solar flares, lightning, power surges backed by a 10-year warranty and a $25,000 insurance policy. And they come with simple installation instructions for home, vehicles, RV, and electric generators. You can have electricity in a blackout. EMPShield.com. Use the promo code PROPHECY for a $50 gift card. This helps Prophecy Club. That's EMPShield.com. Promo code PROPHECY for a $50 gift card. EMPShield.com. EMPShield.com. The worst thing is to find yourself in an emergency and you do not have the food. But the second worst thing is to open the food you bought and your family won't eat it because it is garbage. That's the reason so many people get heavensharvest.com food, because it's really good food, edible food in an emergency. It may be 10, 15, 20 years down the road. All of a sudden, you do need it. You can open it and your family is going to eat it. heavensharvest.com. Put in the promo code STAN. It helps your Prophecy Club. heavensharvest.com, promo code STAN. CornerstoneAssetMetals.com is owned by a prophecy student who reads his King James Bible and supports Prophecy Club. Call CornerstoneAssetMetals.com for gold, silver, palladium, rhodium bars, or coins. They can help you roll over your IRA, 401k, so tell CornerstoneAssetMetals.com Prophecy Club sent you.
We would not be here without your prayers and generous financial support.